Bob was a very handsome young man, and Auntie Gath was very glamorous looking. And when they came to town, it was pretty much like movie stars coming to visit. But Uncle Bob was very quiet in his own way. Never talked about himself. He was full of humility all the time. Never bragged. He was a very gentle, kind of person.
Uncle Bob was small. All the brothers, all of Uncle John's brothers were small. And Uncle Bob was about 5'7" probably, very slight of build, filled with athletic ability, but not the size that Uncle John was. And Uncle Bob always said that when he came off the mound, the ball was flat. And when Uncle John threw, it was coming down. And that gave a tall person an advantage. But Uncle Bob had a tremendous arm. You have to have two things in baseball to succeed. You either have to have a very unusual arm, or very unusual eyes. You can have all of the ability, and they left my brother and me lots of baseball ability. They didn't leave us an arm, or the eyes to hit a curveball. It's so important that you be able to throw and hit a curveball that you just don't get anywhere in the major league or in baseball without those two things. And they both had unusual arms. There are stories about Uncle Bob standing at the barn up at the farm, and there's an oak tree halfway down the hill beyond the barn that's been a part of our life forever. And he stood in the barn door and threw a baseball over that oak tree, which is a tremendous feat. And I'm not sure Uncle John could have done it. But Uncle Bob was smaller stature, but he had a tremendous arm and all the ability you could imagine.
How kind he was and considerate of people. He kind of thought of them first before himself. Yeah. And he'd be the last one to praise himself. No, that wasn't his thing. I guess Nelson got it pretty good. He's humble. And he had every right to talk about what he had done. As a mentor, he was one that I knew his class in high school as well as he did, the members there. I followed what he was doing, if it was a baseball game or a football game, I was there along with my dad and my uncles and such. We kind of followed, Bob. He babied me, per se. I was kind of feisty as a youngster, not knowing my own mother and having a stepmother. There's a period of time that you're saying, but I don't have to do that. And he'd stand, my brother Bob would stand behind the stepmother, shake his head. That was a no-no. Then he'd take me to the side and he'd say to me and give me reasons why that wasn't the thing to do, you understand? And so I immediately turned around in character. You couldn't get me to say a feisty word or action from then on. But I knew where I was headed. And for that, I'll ever be grateful.